Welcome to Week 5 of this 2022 Eagles season. It's time now for our weekly one-on-one with head coach Nick Sirianni, presented by Wawa. I'm Eagles Insider Dave Spadaro, off to Arizona this week. We'll talk about that in a moment, Coach. Let's look back to Sunday real quick. You spoke after the game about the team facing adversity, 14 points down, terrible weather, key players on the sidelines, and the importance of overcoming that adversity. Why was that important to you?
Well, because I think that throughout a long season, you're gonna face adversity, right? Whether that's coming off of a loss, whether that's losing a player, whether that's being down 14-0 in a game, whether it's the weather. I mean, there's so many adversities. Whether it's something in your personal life, there's so many adversities that are thrown at us, and our message is dog mentality in those situations too. And so, dog mentality works in when you're winning, right, or when you're losing, and it's just playing the next play and have that next play mentality. And I think that's the way to go about life as well.
Big picture here, players like Trey Sermon and Zach McPherson and Jack Driscoll, all these players stepped up. In the big picture, how important is that for this football team?
Well, again, you are going to go through ups and downs in the season, and unfortunately there are going to be guys that that go down, and it's the next man up philosophy. And I know everybody says that next man up, but we do a lot of things to get these guys ready. Howie's brought the right types of guys in that they can take a certain role and be willing to play the role that they're in, and then knowing that can evolve as the season goes on. And that's just guys being good men and good teammates. And so these guys speak to that perfectly. They waited their turn, they got an opportunity to play, and they played well. And they played well enough for us to win the football game in some really adverse weather.
Nick, the teams go through a season. Sometimes you don't get a real peek inside of them. The fans feel like they've gotten a look at the Philadelphia Eagles here through 4 weeks, and they like the vibe. They tell me all that. They like the vibe of this team. Do you feel a vibe? And if so, how would you describe it?
Well, that's awesome that they say that. And the vibe that I feel is that this is a close team. I think, and that's what, at the end of the day, that's what the best teams win, right? Not the best group of individuals, the best teams win. And so for the fans to be feeling that and seeing that, that's great. I feel that too, because these guys are close, right? Not only are they in the locker room hanging out together, or on the field hanging out together, but they're also hanging out together outside. They like each other. They like being around each other. And when you have that, you got guys that want to play for each other and that will go a little bit extra for each other because they know they're going a little extra for their brother on the other side or right next to them on the field. And so that's what that gives off, is a vibe. When you got a close team, when you connect and guys play for each other, that gives off a good vibe.
We have seen this the last 2 years here, no matter the defense. I mean, Jacksonville came in on Sunday, best running defense in the league. Yet the Eagles run the football successfully. You stick to it, you have success. Why?
Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson, Isaac, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, the guys that came off the bench, Jack Driscoll, Sua Opeta, the running backs, Coach Stoutland, Jalen creating an extra gap. That's why.
Sounds pretty complete to me. Nick, this is a tough trip. Arizona, out in the desert, good team. What kind of challenge is Sunday for you?
We're playing a playoff team from last year that 2-2 right now, and we know what they're capable of. This is a good football team with good players and good coaching. And so, anytime you play a good football team with good players and good coaching, you got to be on your A game. And then, obviously, being on the road as well, you're going to have to handle different elements, the trip and the crowd noise. But I'm guessing there's going to be some green in that stand welcoming us there.
There'll be a few, of course. Last one for you. Philly is a great sports town, as you know. You've been here long enough to feel it. The Phillies back in the playoffs after a long drought. The Sixers at our home opener. Phillies supporting us. This is a town where sports means so much. What's it like to be part of sports and understand how much it means to everybody, how it brings everybody together?
Yeah, I think it's really awesome. And what happens is you feel that passion when you're out in the field, right? Of, that this town, these teams bring people together in this city. And you definitely feel that out in the field. And I'm looking forward to rooting on the Phillies. Obviously, it's going to be tough for me to watch any games, because we're going to be getting ready for our games ourselves. But I'd definitely be looking at the score and jumping in on with the fans here. Hey, I'm a Phillies fan. We're rooting for them to to win and do well in the playoffs.
Great time of the year for everybody. For the Eagles, it's on to Arizona to beat the Cardinals. Our weekly one-on-one presented by Wawa with head coach Nick Sirianni. Thanks for joining.